Welcome to an American homestead. We just harvested this cabbage from our garden and it looks amazing. One of the things that we look forward to every summer is egg rolls. This is one of Zach's favorite foods. I make them from scratch and we always use at least one or two of our cabbages every year to make egg rolls. So today I'm going to make egg rolls, and this is my own recipe. It's probably not an authentic egg roll like maybe you would get at a restaurant, but this is how we like to eat them, and I think it's fairly simple recipe, so if you want to make them on your own, you can definitely do that. So stick around and you can see how we make our favorite egg rolls. It's a fairly big cabbage. It's kind of flat. So I'll just quarter it, and then I'll just hold it like that, core it. So now I'm ready to chop. If you had one of those fancy machines, maybe a food processor or one of those mandolins, you could do this, but I don't know, mandolins really scare me. I'm afraid I'm gonna cut my fingers off, and I'm okay with a knife, so to me it's just as easy to chop with a knife as one of those mandolins. So there, I got a quarter of it done. Okay, so now if you have never cooked with cabbage, you don't know this, but if you have, you know that cabbage cooks down a lot. So this looks like it's filling my pot, but once it's all cooked, it's gonna cook down a lot. So I have half of it to go. I am not gonna put that in right now. I always add the cabbage, more cabbage as it cooks down, but I wanna get my carrots and my garlic and my onion chopped up so they can cook along with the cabbage. We don't have our own carrots growing in the garden. Carrots are kind of hard for us to grow. So when I want carrots, we always buy them at the store. I always think of Rachel Ray when I do this, like, gather with the back of your knife. She always used to say that. Oh, I used to watch her cooking show all the time. I don't like using a garlic press because I feel like it takes too much time, and you just have to clean it, and then you have to dig out the little parts that stick in the holes, which I really hate doing. So I always just break the garlic with the back of my knife. Where's another piece? That's another good piece. I just whack it, and it breaks the skin, and you can just get the garlic out. Some of them are a little bit more stubborn than others, but and this is our garlic that we just harvested from the garden at the end of the spring. We have it all hanging up back there. Now at this point, I'm just going to drizzle it with a little olive oil just to get it cooking. And some liquid aminos. If you don't have that, you can use soy sauce. I just kind of give it a good dose. I don't know, that's probably maybe a quarter cup. And Thai sauce, the fish sauce. I didn't cook with this for a long time, but it gives it a really nice flavor. Like, it really makes it taste like you mean business. And horseradish. And horseradish, I always put horseradish in when I'm cooking Asian food. Like, it just gives it a really nice kick. Like, if you really, really hate spicy food, don't use it, I guess, but it just gives it a nice flavor. It's not really that hot. If you're afraid of horseradish, maybe put in like 1 tablespoon but I love it, so I just load up on it. I probably put in 2 or 3 tablespoons of horseradish. Okay. And then this Thai red curry paste. Zach's not a huge fan, but I put in probably about 1 tablespoon of that, maybe a couple teaspoons. It just gives it a nice flavor. Like, he would never eat this on his food by himself, although I would. Like, I love to put it on things. But it goes really well in egg rolls. It makes it really nice flavor. Okay, and I think that's it. That's normally what I put in. I'm gonna add the meat later on, and then as this gets cooking, I'm gonna chop more cabbage so that I can put it in as it cooks down. While this is cooking, I'm going to add the juice from my canned lamb. We canned this last winter when we butchered one of our sheep, and it makes a really nice juice in the jar, and I always take advantage of this. So I'm gonna put this into the cabbage while it's cooking. Okay, now it's cooked down some. Well, I also wanted to mention the reason I'm not putting this all in right now is that when you cook with canned meat, if you put it in while you're cooking, all of the chunks will break up, and so you won't even realize that you actually have bites of meat in your food. So when I cook with it, if I add it to something, I'll always add it at the very end so that the chunks stay together. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and add my canned lamb and just stir it in. You can see it like really breaks apart, so I only like to add it the last thing to whatever I'm cooking, like soup or chili, anything like that. I like to add it the very last thing before I serve it. Okay, so here's how this goes. Now, we purchased these egg roll wraps, and they give you a nice little picture. You want to make sure that your wraps are on the diagonal. Number 1, that's important, and also that you don't fill them too full, because it's going to be really hard to wrap them if you overload them. So I have my wraps on the diagonal. I have my slotted spoon because I don't want a whole lot of juice in my wraps. I want them to be crunchy and crispy, so they can't be wet. Okay, so I stick that in the center of my wrap. I like to actually push it this way, and you'll see. So it's a little bit off center there. Fold, fold. If you make burritos, this is how you do that too. Oops. And maybe yours will be a little, oops, that's not what I want to do. That's my olive oil. I need my water over here. You need water to seal it, so you want to get your fingers wet and just kind of tap the end of it and mush it down. Okay. So, normally I would have this ready to go, but I wanted to show you. So I'm going to just grease my cookie sheet. This is olive oil. Okay. All right. So everyone, I just line up. And then you just keep going. If I wanted to, I could drain some of that juice off in a colander so that I wouldn't have to do each spoonful, which I may do off camera. Okay. So when you have a few lined up, I only do it after a few, but you want to do it every few. You do not want these to dry out. So what I do Just brush the tops with olive oil. Normally egg rolls would be fried, but this is the baked version. So you're just gonna brush them all over with olive oil. And so when they bake in the oven, they'll be nice and crispy. But since I'm doing a lot, I always make a lot of these at one time since they're Zach's favorite. He'll be eating them for a couple days. I always make sure that I brush them after I make a few so that the tops don't dry out. Joshua really likes these too. I don't know, it's up for debate. Who likes them more, Zach or Joshua? Zach. He really likes them though. They're all done. I just pulled them out of the oven. They're really, really hot. So leave a comment if you want to try this. Let us know how it goes. Maybe you make your own egg rolls. Let us know how you like them. If you enjoyed this video, please check out this list of amazing people. They are our patrons. For more information, you can go to patreon.com/AnAmericanHomestead, and it'll tell you about all the benefits. Thanks so much for watching. Please check out the videos on the left and check us out on Steemit. We'll see you next time on An American Homestead.